Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to another Saving Your Disaster campaign. This time we have a kind of an interesting email that I'm going to go ahead and read out for you guys. Big CHUNGUS, surprised by AI Russia culture victory. Hey Potato, I don't know that I'd call this game a disaster actually. I think I actually played it quite well aside from some sloppiness with policy cards and neglecting to utilize my Glut of Fate in the late game. But somehow to my surprise, the deity AI pulled off a culture victory on turn 264 and I'm not sure how they did it. I don't doubt that this game is winnable if Russia's culture victory is snubbed. What I'm interested in is finding out how they got all those tourists as quickly as they did. Around 200 tourists in the final dozen or so turns, with barely a rock band in sight. Standard speed, shuffle map, blah blah blah. The boundary United living spaces over the next few years built key wonders, Kilba, Estadio, and this little guy. But I think it was well on track to win either side. So Diplo victory. It wasn't until sometime during the modern era that Russia really started gaining tourists, and by the start of the atomic era, the game predicts that they'll win the culture victory in 19 turns. I failed to notice how close to Russia was to winning, and consequently did nothing to stop them. Was very surprised when the game announced my defeat, just as I was about to launch the exoplanet expedition. The turn before my defeat, Russia was at 443 out of 474 tourists required, with 541 tourism per turn, and they never recruited any of the great people that boost. The only extra thing is Russia is rock band spam. Anyway, attached to the save file. So if I'm pretty sure if I hit shift enter here, okay, Russia should win the game based on what this guy just told me, which is strange because they're getting like 30 tourists in a single turn. So let's have a look here. Let's see what happened there. Yeah, Russia literally got like 30 tourists. So let's go back a turn and see if we can figure out what's going on there. So we can do something very, very cheeky here. And I believe there's a way to do this. If I open up the developer tools, I think you can change which player you are. Okay, let's go ahead and cause the turn to overturn. We will observe the entire map. And then we will get to return to the game as Russia, and we'll be able to maybe piece apart what actually happened. This is more of like a diagnosis of the problem. So how is Russia getting so much? How did they get 30 tourists in a single turn? That's so confusing. If I shift enter again, right, we're at 481. What do we go up to? If I shift enter, we're 481, 483. How did they jump 30 tourists? What the heck? Okay, this one is genuinely baffling to me. And I actually don't have an explanation for it. Yeah, I just don't. This one is strange. They shouldn't be getting this many tourists based on their empire. If I shift enter again, what happens? It went up another 2. There's something weird going on here. There's something very weird. Also, why are you letting him have open borders and stuff with you? Something's going on with that accumulated tourism. He's accumulated way too much tourism with you. Compared to the other players, like John Curtin, he's accumulated 22,000. Menelik, 133,000. Mansa Musa, 100,000. Alexander, 57. For you, it's 230,000. So I don't know what's going on there. Cleopatra, it's 50. Cyrus, it's 186. Why is the tourism number so high there? I don't get it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get another save file. We're doing the diagnosis here. We're trying to figure out what happened. Like we're sifting through the burnt rubble of this game, okay? And we're trying to figure out what happened. You know what I mean? So let's open up the atomic era save. We'll load it up. Okay, so now the turn is 249. And we look at Russia, right? He's winning in 19 turns. Holy shit, wait a minute. He was able to get like over 300 tourists? What the hell? I need to investigate this. So we're going to be observing the game as no player. And we're going to be returning as Russia like every turn. So let's go ahead and boom. So now we're observing the game. We can see everything happening. All right. I don't see any Russian like tourism bombs. I don't see any rock bands. Sure. You're working on nuclear stuff. All right. Let's do 5 turns observing with this window open and just see what Russia is doing. Because I don't. He has rock bands. He does have rock bands, and he is buying more. So it looks like it's just a lot of rock band stuff happening. Maybe? I don't see rock bands in Persia. But Russia is seemingly consistently building rock bands and gurus. Okay, I'm now playing as Russia again. The tourism has only increased like a little bit. So in the save file, they had won like 10 turns from now. So if I just set the autoplayer to 10 turns now, let's see what happens. I'm trying to figure out what the hell went wrong with this game. If you have any ideas, like there's no game modes on, there's no mods. Oh, what was that? Purchased archaeologists. There's like apostles going on. 8 more turns. I'm hearing a lot of rock bands playing, but I can't see who. Well, there's a rock band inside your territory, literally obliterating you as I speak. Yeah, so I think it's very simple what you needed to do. You just needed to declare war on Russia because he got way too lucky with his rock bands this game. As far as I can tell. Yeah, look, there's a rock band here. More rock bands coming. Someone is rock banding, and I can't tell where. And I think that's what killed you this game, is the rock bands. Especially when you see like a lot of tourists centralized into a single city. That usually is a symptom of rock banding or some sort of tourism multiplier. All right, what is going on there? Yeah, look at the amount of tourism they have in this version of the game. It's way less tourism against you, and that's almost certainly because they have not been able to rock band as effectively against you. So I'm 99% sure they just got god rolls on their rock bands, which is usually the case if you don't have a lot of passive sources of tourism, but you have tons of tourists crammed into your buildings like this. That usually means that you've accumulated some insane amount of tourism from another source. Because realistically, this theater square should have gathered like maybe, what is it? You divide this by 1,500. So 2, you can round up if you want. So 3, it should have gathered like the maximum number of tourists this building should have is like 3 times the number of players in the game that aren't Russia. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this should have 21 tourists. The fact that it has 49 means that they've gotten a huge boost of tourism from somewhere else. I think you really just got wrecked by rock bands. Now, what could you do to fix that problem? Well, the most important thing to do is, if I go back to this atomic era point, 2 huge mistakes you have going right now in your war with, in your sort of battle with Russia, is you have open borders with them, big mistake, and you have a trade route with them. Second big mistake. What you need to do in order to win this game and finish the exoplanet expedition is actually rather simple. Super simple. You should, under no circumstances, should you have an alliance with Russia. You should be at war with Russia, and you should have encouraged every single player in the game to be at war with Russia, because they rock banded you, dude. You got rock banded, and you didn't notice. They had a level 3 rock band that rolled the god rolls and completely obliterated your tourism. That's really what it comes down to. They just rolled really high on their rock band rolls. So always, like, at the start of every era, you should check this and make sure you don't, honestly, you should just check this regularly. Make sure you don't ally or make friends with somebody who, does all these things. You also need to start generating as much culture as possible. These like campus research grants are great. You need to click this. You need to scroll down to here. You need to start running theater square festivals at this point in the game. Now, if we're going back to here, let's have a little bit of a look. See if again we're sifting through the burning wreckage of your game, and we're trying to find where the source of the fuel was. Right? Okay. So let's reveal all. Right. We just reveal the map, and oh, there we go. This is the culprit right here. This guy right here is the guy that won the game. He rolls a like nat 20 on his, this is the guy that kills you right here. If we go rock band, we do a little search. 1 rock band here. Yeah, this is a level 3 rock band. If I tag switch to Russia, this guy probably has like an insane number of promotions or bonuses. So let's see if we can't do that. So where's autoplay? Boom. Let's see if we can tag switch to Russia. Let's just shift enter. Hope this guy survives so we can check out his stats. 28,000 tourism right there. 28,000 tourism from the traditional and the rock band. So that is the thing that killed you. This rock band. Oops, I forgot to do 1 turn limit. The really big thing is this rock band has 265 album sales. So that means you basically put a decimal point here, and that is how much you multiply all of their base tourism gains by. So if this thing makes 100 tourism, you multiply it by 26.5. This rock band just went insane and murdered you, which is why it's really important, again, to get everyone to declare war on Russia. Don't have a friendship with Russia. Get everyone on board. Make sure you try to kill their rock bands, try to prevent their rock bands. It really quite simple. This single rock band completely annihilated you, which is actually kind of a really interesting outcome of a game. Anyway, we have managed to do the post-mortem. We have managed to do the dissection. We have done the autopsy on this game, and really it comes down to a couple things. It's very simple. Rock bands are highly RNG dependent, And every now and again, you're going to get screwed by a rock band, which is why you need to stick to the principles, right? Never ally your number one enemy, unless you have a really good reason to. Always be conspiring against them. Get other people to declare war on them. Prevent them from getting trade routes. Pillage their coastline, right? You could have sent over here, like, you're working a whole variety of random projects like carbon recapture, campus research grants, right? None of these things are all in the same correct direction, right? You could have been producing nuclear submarines. You could have been sending those submarines over. They could have been pillaging his coastline. They could have been pillaging his things. They could have been shooting his civilians. All that kind of stuff is stuff you could have done. I mean, this is a massive, massive Russian empire that is like extremely exposed to potential coastal pillaging. So I think the combination of poor diplomacy and not making use of naval raiders, I think, is what killed you this game. And just not being aware of the potential of rock bands. Like this rock band here, this rock band soloed your entire empire. And it's really that simple. I'm going to call that the end of the episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching this autopsy of a game. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.